Beauties, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hello, my name is Gurishq Kaur. Firstly, thank you so much for tuning in, and if you're a newbie, please subscribe to my channel before watching this video. And regardlessly, today I've got you a very special video, so it's gonna be all the requested high-end makeup products. Like the more popular makeup products are either high-end or international or both. So to know the more easily available and affordable dupes for all these products, please keep on watching. And the first product that I'm going to dupe for today is the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. Yes, I finally found a dupe to this product. It is such a talked about, really hyped product in the beauty community. It is a beautiful lip sleeping mask for sure. The texture is so rich and lovely. It's like none other. But wait a second, I got you a dupe, sis. So this is a small variant of the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask, and it retails for 500 rupees, and it has 8 grams of product. And the dupe for it is from the Swiss Beauty. Yes, so surprisingly, literally, it's from Swiss Beauty. It's the lip primer mask. This was actually suggested by a fellow blogger on her stories, and I was like, and she called it a dupe of the Laneige Sleeping Mask. I have to give it to her. Her name is Kanika Kapahi, and she called it a dupe of the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask, and I was like, really? Like, are you kidding me, girl? But I just went ahead and tried it. So this is what both the tubs look like side by side. This one has 8 grams of product and retails for 500 rupees, whereas this one has around 4.5 gram of products and retails for 250 rupees. So I know there's not like a huge price difference or a huge quantity difference for the price. It's just probably like 0.5 grams extra product, but I'm just saying that I find a dupe if your Laneige one is unavailable. It is very similar. I'm not gonna say it's the exact same thing, but it is very similar. And if you have, you know, access to Swiss Beauty, or you want to support and promote an Indian brand, so the Swiss Beauty lip primer mask is a very close dupe to the Laneige one. And time for a quick texture check. I mean, it's funny that I'm swatching literally a lip balm. I mean, you literally have to feel it to know what I'm talking about. It's very similar to the Laneige one. Has an ever so slight tint of pink in it that just looks very pretty. Here we have the classic Laneige one. I mean, nobody than Gurishq Kaur swatching lip balms. So the Laneige one has absolutely no tint, whereas the Swiss Beauty one has a slight tint to it. This is supremely hydrating for your lips, and you're gonna love it. Just go for it. Alrighty, so next I'm gonna dupe another product that is very, you know, like a cult famous in the beauty community, and that is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. And I am a personally huge fan of Smashbox primers. They are just amazing. When I bought this one to begin with, like I bought this one like as the first primer from Smashbox, and after that I bought like all the other 4 variants right after that. I bought the Photo Finish one, then I got the Pore Minimizer primer, then the Radiance one, even the Primerizer. So I literally picked all of them because Smashbox is one brand who does really good primers, but I found a perfect dupe for this one that is like a fraction of its cost. And I'm talking about one of the latest launches from the House of Cal, that is the Pore Corrector Mattifying Primer Base. This one is so insanely similar to the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. The texture, the performance, the stay of the, the stay of it, how it makes the makeup last more longer is so similar. It's insane. The Smashbox one retails for 3,300 rupees for 30 ml of product. This is what the consistency looks like. It's not too thick, neither too thin. It's a silicone based primer. It just very beautifully gives that soft focus effect to the skin. And to dupe the same, we have the Cal primer. Again, it is such a pretty pore filling primer. Again, a silicone based primer. It's thicker, definitely thicker than, you know, the Smashbox one, but the primer base is just really pore filling and performs just very similar to the Smashbox one. Like, there are a lot of pore filling silicone based primers in the market, but these two seem almost identical. It's that crazy. So the Cal Pore Corrector Primer retails for 1050 rupees, also contains 30 ml of product, has a glass bottle and a more luxurious and expensive looking packaging, whereas this one retails for 3300 rupees. So you're definitely saving some money and also getting like a nice luxurious glass bottle. And the next dupe of the day is also for a very popular product in the beauty community. I'm talking about none other than the MAC Strobe Cream. I have in the shade Pink Light. This retails for 2600 rupees and contains 50 ml of product, and the perfect dupe that I have for this one is going to be the Tri Sugar Illuminating Moisturizer. This one is in the variant Pink Trippin, which is an exact dupe to the MAC Strobe Cream. Let me swatch it for you all because this is more of a visual dupe that you might be able to see how similar both of these are, unlike the primer and lip balm. Well, so that is how the MAC Strobe Cream swatches. Can you see and detect that pink shift? So yes, this does seem like a generic moisturizer, but it has a very fine pink shimmer reflex to it. It is so fine on the skin that it does not look like glitter particles, and just a very soft sheen. So this one is in the shade Pink Light, and I'm going to swatch the sugar one just next to it, and that is how the sugar one swatches. Okay, so I just checked the shade. This is not in the shade Pink Light, it's in the shade Peach Light, and this the sugar one is in the shade Pink Light. These are very similar on the skin, extremely similar on the skin, and it's just that this one has a peach reflex to it while the other one has a more of a pink reflex to it. I hope the camera is catching what I'm trying to convey, but they look extremely similar on the skin. Gives a nice healthy dew and a peachy pink reflex to your face. Both of these come in multiple shades for you to choose from. And lastly, the MAC one retails for 2600 rupees, whereas the sugar one retails for only 500 rupees. Alright, so another beautiful dupe for the day is going to be for the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I lately got my hands on this foundation and it's so beautiful. It's a shade deeper for me, like this is like one shade darker for me, but the formula is to die for. It's so stunning. It's just so full coverage, yet it is very dewy and radiant and that healthy look on the skin. And when I used it, I was like, I have tried this formula, like this seems very similar and seems very known to me, and I was wondering, and I realized it is a correct dupe for one of my old favorites in the drugstore foundations, and that is none other than the LA Girl Pro Illuminating Foundation. These two are so similar and the price difference is just out of the world, sis. So I have the Too Faced foundation in the shade Natural Beige. I might have gone a shade or two lighter in this one, however, but this one is in the shade Natural Beige. It retails for 2700 rupees and has 30 ml of product, and the LA Girl one is in the shade Nude Beige, has 28 ml of product and retails for 1000 rupees. Let me do a quick little swatch for you side by side. Oh boy, as much as I love Too Faced base products in specific, like Too Faced foundation and concealers are exceptional, but these two are supremely close, I must say. Can you see that radiant effect on both the foundations? They're so dewy and glowy, yet so full coverage. I personally would call this a full coverage. Maybe you can call it a medium to full coverage, but that's pretty damn full coverage, honey. So yeah, if you were eyeing the Too Faced foundation but found it a little too expensive, you can definitely try on the LA Girl Pro Illuminating Foundation and just get a very similar coverage, finish, everything, but at a fraction of the cost. And since we are in the face category of dupes, let's move on to a blush that I got a perfect dupe for, and again, this is one of my absolute favorite blushes. I'm talking about none other than the Milani Baked Blusher. I have it in here in the shade Coralina. Now the dupe that I have for it is not a shade dupe but more of a formula dupe. The formula, the finish of both the blushes is so similar. However, this range has so many more peaches, pinks, berries, and so many more tones in this blush range. So you can certainly find a shade dupe as well, I believe, but the shades are not similar once again, but the finish is so similar. You know, like, yes, it is a glowy blusher, it is a shimmery blusher, but it does not have extreme glitter chunks in it that can really, you know, exaggerate your pores. It just imparts a very nice healthy glow and sheen with your flushed cheeks. So don't mind the upper lid of my blush is even broken because it's that loved. Regardlessly, the Milani blush retails for 1200 rupees and has approximately 3.5 grams of product, whereas the Swiss Beauty Blushing of Love, this contains approximately 12 grams of product, which is insane. Like, this will never finish. Again, a shimmery blush highlighter. It's more in the strip format, so you can also use it as individual shades, but even mixed together as a blush topper or just as a glowy blusher. It's so pretty on the skin. I have also used it in one of my cheap makeup trial videos, and this was such a hit product out of all. You can check out that video, I'll link it somewhere here. However, I was unable to find this one on Nykaa somehow. I mean, it's out of stock, I believe. So I personally got this one from an Instagram page that is Cosmetics at Best, so you can definitely reach out to them if you're looking to shop this. And a really quick swatch for you all. So that is what the Swiss Beauty glowy blush looks like. The Milani one. It's not, again, it's not a shade dupe, but it's more of a formula and a product dupe. So keep that in mind and you'll be good to go. Do you want me to add like a little blush on my cheek to show what I'm talking about? Oh, this has such a pretty dew to it. Now you see what I meant. And again, dipping into this one now. This again has that lovely dew to it. I applied way too much and way too different colors. My point was that they look very similar in terms of the formula. I look like a freaking joker right now. I need to correct this situation and get back to the duping. Alrighty, so I tried to save this face as much as I could after the blush rush. Regardlessly, we can just ignore that and move on to the next dupe of the day. That is for another, you know, cult sort of palette. And now we are duly moving on to the eye category. And the next dupe is for the NYX Cosmetics Ultimate Shadow Box in the variant Brights. So it's a stunning, bright, colorful eyeshadow palette. Very vibrant and really pretty. Like, this is actually a very pretty eyeshadow palette for a beginner, that too available in India, because there are not a lot of colorful and really, you know, pretty palettes available in the Indian market yet. Like, we need more stunning eyeshadow palettes. What are you even doing, the Indian beauty industry? We are tired of neutrals and those browns and pinks. Please, we need some color. Why does every video of mine has to have an unnecessary, completely unrelated mini rant? I just don't get it. Regardlessly, so the NYX Brights palette retails for, so the NYX palette retails for 1725 rupees. It has a beautiful variety of colors. The colors are pigmented and blendable. Not the best mattes I've ever tried, but they're pretty damn good. And a very close dupe to this one has to be, it's not in the best shape, like, please excuse me for that, it's the Hilary Rhoda palette. This one does not have a name to it, it just says the brand name, that is Hilary Rhoda, and it's in the variant 02. So that's the Hilary Rhoda palette. Now see it in comparison to the NYX one, the color story is so similar. Like, do I even need to say that? The color story is so similar, and pretty much all the, like, I've tried this palette well enough to say that it is a close dupe to this one, because this also has like decently good mattes. All these mattes are very pigmented, they blend nicely enough. They are not super luxe, but either of the palette's mattes are not super luxe that way, but they're nice mattes and, you know, very colorful, nice shades. The color story is so insanely similar. So if you want to get your hands on the NYX one but find it a little too expensive, you can check out the Hilary Rhoda palette. Again, I didn't purchase it. It was sent to me by an Instagram store. I'll leave the page name on the screen right here and you can refer to them, or in the description box. So don't forget to check that out. I'll also mention the price somewhere on the screen, but this one is actually a good palette if you want like a colorful palette just to play around and don't want to really invest in a lot. These are like good quality eyeshadows, I must say. And another dupe in the eyeshadow category is for the Makeup Revolution Flawless Makeup Revolution Forever Flawless Allure eyeshadow palette. Can you see that palette? It is such a beautiful rosy mauvey neutral toned palette with hints of shimmers here and there, and I don't really own that palette, but seeing that and the palette I own, the color story is extremely similar. Certainly I cannot comment on the performance of the Makeup Revolution shadows because I haven't really tried them, but regardlessly I've tried this one and it is dope. And yes, I'm talking about none other than the Flickr Cosmetics Game of Colors eyeshadow palette. This one is in the variant, they have 3 variants, let me check. This one is in the variant 03 First Thought, and can you please take a moment and see how similar the color story is from this palette and the Makeup Revolution one. However, the Flickr Cosmetics one also comes with an eye base and has a brown and black shadow in every palette, and like the tones are so similar. You can easily go to this one if you're looking for a generic rosy mauvey toned neutral palette. It's a very wearable palette, yet you can create multiple eye looks with this. I can already tell we have shimmers in there. We also have 2 pressed glitters, some very pretty pigmented yet blendable mattes, and every palette of theirs has a black and brown shadow, which is so thoughtful. Also, this retails for $8.99, that is 900 rupees, and the other one retails for $18.50, so you can save $1,000 for this one. And yeah, if you're looking for one, you can try out the Flickr Cosmetics palette. Some very interesting dupes of some very popular palettes. The Colourpop 9 pan palettes, they have so many variants in that. They got a peach one, mint one, lilac, blues, greens, yellows, reds, berries, pinks, literally any and every color. Even they got pastels of the same shade range. So basically they're 9 pan palettes, and those are so appreciated, and they were pretty much like the first ones to do those at such an affordable price. Then we got some brands that are highly inspired by Colourpop to bring out these mini palettes. I'm talking about none other than the Nikke New York palettes, and this range in specific is a little too inspired. Even the names of the palettes are so similar to the actual Colourpop palettes that it is duped from. I'm talking about the Nikke Pop Neon 9 eyeshadow color palette. It's such a tongue twister name, and here we have palettes extremely similar to the Colourpop ones. So the first one we have here is their Oh Honey palette, which is literally the exact dupe of the Colourpop Oh Honey ooh, I don't know how to say that, yo. The Colourpop Oh Honey palette, like literally even the name is same, bro. It's Oh Honey and that's Oh Honey. I don't get it. Like the brand was like, this is selling fast, this is popular, let's copy it entirely only. But if you want a really nice close dupe to that is not only cost effective but also easily available in India, then you can certainly check out the Nikke New York palettes. So this one is the exact dupe for the Colourpop Ooh Honey. Then we have the Nikke Ocean Eyes palette, which is again an exact dupe of the Blue Moon palette. Each of the pans is like same. The Nikke Lucky Charm palette, which is again an exact dupe of the Colourpop Just My Luck palette. Like why do you even put in the effort to put different names? Lucky Charm, Just My Luck, how freaking similar, dude. But good for you as consumers if you can't really access the Colourpop one due to XYZ reasons. Nikke is easily available in India on hokmakeup.com or nykaa.com, or I guess even Purple. So I'll leave the links in the description box, you can check them out. Personally, I got these from HOK Makeup, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, these retail for 500 each, so that's a very inexpensive palette. And yes, Nikke palette's eyeshadow quality is very good. Given the price, it's extremely good. Ready, and the last product dupe for the day is gonna be for the ever so famous, again, a freaking cult product in the beauty community. That is the MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus. And I mean, there are a lot of setting sprays. I could dupe it to anybody because setting sprays is again not a visual product, but I've really tried and tested out each of these dupes, so guys, trust me on that, it is an exact dupe. It's surprisingly enough the Wet n Wild Natural Finish setting spray. The finish of both these is so similar. The longevity that both of these setting sprays provide is so similar. The finish, like everything is just so similar, and it is insanely at a fraction of its cost. So definitely you can try out the Wet n Wild Natural Finish setting spray. I've not really heard a lot of people talk about this one, but this is such a good setting spray, I would say. However, the nozzles and sprays of both of them are very different, but the actual product is very similar. So this one comes with this sort of a nozzle, and I'm going to spritz it for you to see. But actually, you know what, I really prefer the nozzle of the Wet n Wild one, because the MAC one, at times the spray is a little thick at times because of the nozzle. At times all of a sudden it's thick, you know, but this one always gives this nice and fine mist. Do you see that? I'm wasting so much. Both of these are mildly fragrant, not extremely fragrant, but they are fragrant, so just putting it out there. And yeah, but it's a great dupe, so do give it a try. And if you purchase any dupe on my recommendation, please let me know. It just makes up my day. I spend my days in and out making videos for you guys, so it's lovely and extremely sweet to hear that I could help you out in any little way. So please let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed this video, are gonna purchase any product. And that's all I got for you today. I'll see you guys in my next one. And yeah, it's pack up time. Goodbye.